Hello and welcome to Smosh Reads Reddit Stories. I'm Shane, and today we've got a classic Am I the Asshole episode, and I'm joined by two people who are not the asshole.
Wow.
Okay,
Ian and Amanda.
I was about to be ready
I
for...
thought it was gonna happen, but
Beat
no.
your freaking butt, my
Yeah,
I know.
because this is your boss.
That's
Yeah.
true.
He owns you.
Well,
And
don't know
I
about
own
that.
you too,
I mean, I own-
bitch.
Yeah, sure.
Owned.
Sure.
No,
Smosh
it's more fun.
catchphrase.
You gotta be more intense, Ian. You gotta be like, I own you people.
Do I?
Yes.
No.
People behind the camera are shaking their heads no.
Oh, okay. Just do it to Cass then.
Okay. I own
I give you the green light.
Yeah. I'm very excited for Am I the Asshole stories because, I mean, I feel like that's kind of like where we started with these.
Oh yeah. It's still the bread and butter of pretty much every episode. All right, well, let's just hop into these.
Do it.
Okay, our first one. Am I the asshole for just deciding not to travel because my wife made reservations for Disney again? Oh boy.
Oh, God.
We've got a Disney adult story.
Let's go.
Let's go.
You guys knew I was going to be on the show, and you put a Disney adult
Let's
in here.
go.
My wife Jess and I have been married for the past 13 years. We're both 39. After experiencing financial hardship throughout our 20s and early 30s, Jess and I are now fortunate enough to have the means to travel once or twice a year. The only problem is that Jess literally only wants to go to Disney World. We have been to Disney 9 times now, and every vacation we have ever taken together was to go there, including our honeymoon. So we go, we eat the Mickey Mouse ice cream, we wear the mouse ears, we stay in the official hotels, we see the characters, we ride the rides, we take the pictures in front of Cinderella's castle, and we come home every trip. I'm honestly beyond sick of Disney, and I never really liked going in the first place. Jess knows this, but she has no concept of travel beyond Disney. We're currently planning a trip for April, and Jess, as usual, said that we can just go to Disney. I explained that it sounds fun, but hey, why don't we go somewhere like Hawaii this time? Jess was confused. She asked why we would go to Hawaii. I responded that we could enjoy the spas and go to the beach. Jess mumbled a half-hearted answer and walked away. A few days later, she approached me saying that she made hotel reservations for Hawaii. At first, I was excited because although she did so without consulting me, it seemed like she was really listening. But then when she showed me the hotel she booked, I found she had made reservations for Aulani,
Which is?
the Disney resort in Hawaii.
That's right.
Ooh, boy.
Frustrated, I told her that I'm honestly tired of Disney and that I just want to have a different experience this time. She told me that she was compromising with me and that I should be appreciative for the time she spent. I asked her if she was willing to consider anything other than Disney for our trip, and she said no.
Whoa.
At this point, I said that I wasn't going. Now she's furious. She canceled the reservation she made, and now she's looking for a friend to go to Disney World with again without me. Was I the asshole here for not trying to accommodate her request?
No.
I mean, look, this guy.
Yeah.
Sounds like a very accommodating husband saying like, I never really enjoyed Disney, and then agreeing to go all these times.
Yeah.
But also, like, marriage is a partnership, and it sounds like in every discussion of a vacation, she has won this argument. And
Right.
yeah, I mean, luckily, I think the Disney resort on Hawaii is like, it is more of like a hotel.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's like stuff for like kids to do.
Yeah.
But there's not like roller coasters and Space Mountain
No.
and stuff. It's just a place where you sleep, and then you can like
Right.
go outside and like enjoy
Sure.
Hawaii.
It's still just like, okay, our vacations are always going to be Disney themed.
Yeah.
And he's tired of it. And he's telling her, hey, I'm tired of this.
To me, it sounds like he hasn't said he's tired of it at all
Yeah.
until
know.
right now
Like,
he's
this
putting
is a
his foot down
surprise.
and he's putting it all down at once and he let resentment build up.
Yeah, which is it's still a little sad to me that in all these years, she's never been like, what would you like to do?
No, I agree. I don't think he's an asshole at all for this
No.
at all. But like, yeah, I think it's time to maybe go to Europe.
Yeah. I'm just like, I'm so confused because like you're together for like, what was it, 12 years? And how do you like not even communicate about like where you're going for your vacation?
Right.
Like, well, we're going to Hawaii. Disney, Hawaii. Like, what? You already bought the tickets and everything? That's insane.
Yeah, unless it's like, oh, you book the reservations, you pick.
Yeah.
It's like, don't just go off and just book it. Like, let's do that together. See, where I thought this story was going was she was going to be like, yeah, let's go to Europe. Let's go to Japan. Let's go to Beijing. And then it's going to be like
Disney
Tokyo, Disney Paris. Like, she was going to be like, let's go to one of those, which frankly, that's, if you want to argue a compromise.
Yeah.
That's one.
It's like, let's go to Paris, and one of the days we'll go to Disney Paris.
Yeah.
And then some of the other days we'll go do other things.
Right.
I think that Disneyland it's not even in Paris. Like, it's like a ways out of the city. So that would be a good excuse to be like, yeah, let's go to Disneyland in Paris, and then be like, oh, it's like so far away from Paris. Let's just go for one day. And then, oh, our hotel's here in Paris. Guess we gotta walk around Paris. I think that there's a good way that this husband can convince her to go to other places in the world. He's like, hey, you know Epcot? You know how they have that like little Japan place? We could go to the real one.
No.
They have like there's a whole place that's like that in countryside.
Do you know that there's a real Morocco?
Why is she like this AI robot where it's like Jess only wants? Just tell her, hey, honey, I don't want to see Mickey for a long time. Just tell your wife.
I hate Mickey Mouse.
Just tell her.
You know what I don't think this is what's happening, but I know that I do this and I have to like force myself away from it, which is they didn't go on vacations for the longest time because they couldn't afford it. They finally could, and one of their first trips was Disney World. And it was like, that rocked.
Yeah.
Let's do it again because we know it rocked.
Yeah.
It's so easy to fall into the like,
trap.
Well, we've done that and it's awesome. So let's just keep going there.
It's
And
safe.
I think the like more common one is like restaurants. It's like, oh,
this
that
is
restaurant.
our spot.
We love it. We're going to just keep going there. It's
Yeah.
like, we have to try something new eventually.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you try something new and you're like, that's our new favorite spot.
Right.
It's
comfort.
It's the tough thing. And there's nothing wrong with
But 9 years
that.
in a row.
9 years in a
No,
row, I
that's
think it's like,
insane.
unless they're both stoked about it,
Right.
that's fine.
Right.
But he's not.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Comments. Verdict, not the asshole.
Sure.
Yeah.
Comments. How the f did this go on for 9 trips without you saying something? I'd have gone mad after going a second time.
Correct.
Someone else said, your wife needs to learn to consider her husband's feelings instead of only her own, not the asshole. Lastly, someone said, what the f? You have a wife problem. She's not into fully compromising at all.
okay.
She doesn't look beyond herself much. Book yourself a nice vacation and go.
Okay.
Yeah, you got a woman problem,
okay.
bro.
You got a
wife
You gotta
problem.
get that
99
wife in
problems,
line.
but a bitch ain't one. Disney.
No, I think it definitely seems like they have a communication problem or
Yeah.
like a standing up for like
Yeah.
what you want to do problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, update.
Yes. Thank you.
About a week ago, I made a post about an argument my wife, Jess, and I had. The TLDR version of it is Jess loves going to Disney World, and we have gone there for literally every trip during our marriage, which is now at an impressive 9 times. When I asked Jess if we could go somewhere like Hawaii, she suggested Aulani, the Disney resort, and I dismissed the idea completely. This upset Jess. Here's the update. I screwed up. I know most people were giving me the not the asshole judgment, but Jess actually showed a great deal of openness to my idea. She took initiative by reserving the hotel because she wanted me to be happy. When I said nope, no Disney, she felt that I hadn't put any effort into taking her feelings into consideration, and she was completely right. I hadn't. It was, in a twisted way, my form of revenge for dragging me to Disney World all those times. In the last post, some people commented about how Aulani barely even looks like a Disney resort at all. This is something I should have researched myself before I threw the gauntlet down with Jess. When I looked into it, it looked like a run-of-the-mill Hawaiian resort. In my defense, going to Disney World 9 times has kind of made me sensitive, and I'm fairly sure that on a Rorschach test, I'd see nothing but mouse ears at this point. But I really should not have jumped to conclusions. A day after I made the post, I approached Jess and apologized. I was wrong. Yes, she might be a Disney adult, but aside from always wanting to go to their theme parks, she's never obnoxious about it. I said I was sorry and asked for permission to reserve the hotel again, and Jess responded that she'd love to go to Aulani with me. When I told her that it's not really all that Disney, Jess said, of course I knew that. I wanted to go because my sister said it was beautiful. I'm a moron. Jess and I have replanned our vacation and we're super excited to be going now. I came to this realization because a lot of people pointed out some things I should have figured out myself. Thank you.
Okay, blink twice if you need assistance, buddy.
Yeah.
I mean, he is right. It is just like a resort.
Sure. I still don't love that he's jumping to.
Yes.
I'm not considering her feelings. Like, well, she didn't consider your feelings for 9 years, so I don't know. We obviously don't know these people on a real level. We just have this story. But from what I'm gathering from here, it just doesn't sound like she's considering him.
I don't know what happened in between that post and what, but that's a different man writing that.
Hey
name.
guys,
She's like,
I really overreacted.
She saw the post, yeah.
she's in a Mickey costume, like, say what I said.
No, write that down.
Yeah.
That's better. You're so
Update
right.
number 2.
Stop! She's like, hey, it's Jess.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's been. He's been missing for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Hi again, everybody. This situation all started because my wife Jess and I had an argument about going to Disney World on vacation again. I didn't want to go because we've been there 9 times. When I suggested Hawaii, Jess made reservations for Aulani, which previously on Dragon Ball Z, Disney World Resort. Okay, it was, and we realized that I was wrong and that Aulani was a perfectly fine compromise.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we will not be going to Aulani for our upcoming vacation.
Oh.
A couple of days after Christmas, Jess had a minor car accident. She mistook the drive for reverse and backed into our garage door. When I heard the loud bang, I ran outside and found Jess holding her neck in the car. I immediately drove her to the hospital where she got x-rays done. She seemed fine, but the doctor said that based on her symptoms, headache, neck pain, numbness in her fingers, she could have whiplash. Jess and I figured that she would be fine in a couple days, but almost 2 weeks later, she is still complaining about back pain. Yesterday, she approached me, saying that she wasn't confident she could go to Hawaii in a few months. I asked what she wanted to do, and while apologizing profusely, she asked me if we could postpone that trip. I responded that she had absolutely nothing to apologize for. After that, she said that she felt bad about not being able to go to Hawaii, but she might be able to make it to Disney World.
Shut
Please.
up.
Please stop.
Stop it. Stop it.
Please stop. She's like,
Okay,
you have
this
to have
is-
Mickey touch my neck.
But you know what'll help? Maybe Space Mountain will get it back right.
Wait.
No, this is fake.
Because when you said that she backed into her garage and she got whiplash from that, I was like, was she driving
gunned it.
like a
She went
Tesla?
0 to
and was
60
like,
like a roller coaster?
She's flooring it out of her garage.
yeah, that's crazy.
All right, let's
Okay.
continue.
Yeah, sorry.
While I didn't understand at first, she told me that it was very high accessibility and, in a worst-case scenario, ECV rentals. She doubts that will be necessary, but assured me that we could take it easy there. I know that this isn't the conclusion people here wanted, and it's certainly not what I wanted to do with my next vacation, but Jess's health has to come first here. We've made our reservations. It's not where I want to go, but Jess is super happy right now, and that's what matters most to me. Thank you all for your input. Is this a no-sleep post?
She's like this.
This
She's
is terrifying.
like, woo! I'm so happy we're going to f***ing Disney. Her neck is just
Oh my
back
God.
to itself.
You injured your neck and you want to go to a theme park?
Oh, wait, hold on. She's playing, okay, hear me out. Okay, because when you have like, when you go to Disneyland, right, and there's like, and you have like accessibility problems, don't you like get to like skip the line?
They changed that.
They changed
They
that?
changed that. People were taking advantage of it.
Because I was gonna say maybe she's like playing 3D chess. She's like, okay, I'll run in the garage, hurt my neck, so I can skip the line at Disney.
I don't think that'll get you in front of the line.
This man, it's like his body is in a room and he has these little like Black Mirror things on and he's just transported into like the perfect husband for Jess. How does he believe that this is the thing?
He's in Severance, and every year he just comes into consciousness at Disney World over and
also
over
like
again.
whiplash.
This is like,
I don't know.
An amusement park is not where I would go if I injured my neck.
No.
You shouldn't ride any rides if you have a neck injury.
Go to Hawaii.
Literally, she's like, okay, Disney World is fine, but the resort where we're gonna lay by a pool all day is dangerous. Bullshit.
I can't handle
No,
him now.
I hate her.
Well, guess what? Mickey is gonna come and get you. Dude, you're
My old boss is gonna come get me. No, this is once again, I only have this story. I have no other information. This is just feels like total manipulation to me.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
She's like, I backed into the garage. She's like, okay, for Mickey.
No, I'm so upset that he agreed. What he should have said, and the actual answer is, no, we're not going on any vacation. We're not getting on planes. We're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
If you have this injury that you're saying that happened a couple weeks ago, that you don't feel confident a few months from now.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
I feel like this is like some kind of like weird new agoraphobia, where like you only feel safe. You only feel safe inside your own house in Disney World.
Yeah. God, that's the future.
We're living in.
Tell us. Update?
No
Another
more
update?
updates.
Wow.
It ends
That's
there.
because
He's going to Disney World.
Oh, 100%. They're
he's not
to
going
Disney.
He's going to
anywhere.
Disney World.
He's going to Disney World, and he's gonna love it.
He's going to Disney World for the rest of his life.
He's not going anywhere. Maybe the top of his head is going somewhere, but the rest of his body is buried, yo. He's attached to something else, and she's pulling that arm, and it's a phantom body. I'm sorry. What are we doing here?
Oh my God.
Everybody-
I was
right?
wondering why you guys were losing it off camera as you were getting to that point. I was like, what's
No,
so funny?
I was like, something's coming. Also, him re-explaining the story just shows that he is so like in this pattern of like, and I'm a good husband, and here's the story, and I was wrong. I am wrong. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
This is a nightmare.
They live in the Haunted Mansion.
This might be
And
We're
one of,
going to Disneyland.
She loves that.
this might be one of my favorite stories.
This is a very good
What?
one.
Yeah, this is a
No,
really
it's
good one.
extremely funny. It's
Yeah.
also a nightmare.
Yeah.
Nightmare.
Next story.
God. Can we just move on? I don't know.
Best of Redditor updates.
Yay!
Buckle up. Am I the asshole for leaving my Bumble date stranded at a restaurant after she admitted she was going to her guy best friend's place after the date?
Stranded.
Okay.
Okay.
A couple of months ago, I matched with Anna on Bumble. I thought we vibed really well. She had a really nice and funny demeanor, and we had lots of engaging conversations on FaceTime. We set up our first dinner date last week. I proposed a really nice restaurant, which was sort of far from where we lived, but I really wanted to treat Anna because I thought she was special. Anna asked if I could pick her up and then after the date drop her off at her best friend's place. I didn't mind it at all. Anna said she had movie night with her best friend. I picked Anna up and we went to the restaurant. The date went better than expected. We vibed really well. Anna also had drinks since I was the designated driver. However, right at the end of the date, Anna asked if I would drop her off at Josh's. I was initially confused and then realized Josh was her guy best friend. Anna instantly realized what she said and it sort of became awkward. Anna apologized and I told Anna there was no reason to apologize. I was just curious about who Josh was, so I asked Anna, and Anna said he was her guy best friend and they occasionally have movie nights. Anna said she wanted to be honest with me because she really liked me and saw a future with me, and she admitted they sometimes make out during these movie nights, but it doesn't go further than that. I appreciated Anna's honesty, but this whole thing felt like a huge gut punch. I was maybe in my feelings, but I just couldn't do it anymore. I told Anna to just ask Josh to pick her up, and I paid for my portion of the dinner and left. Anna looked really sad when I ended the date and left. I felt sort of guilty about it later and called my sister to ask her if what I had done was right. My sister said I shouldn't have left Anna stranded at the restaurant, especially after Anna was really sweet and honest with me. I told my sister how I could be expected to take Anna for a really fancy dinner and then drop her off at her guy best friend's house where she would then make out with him. I had enough self-respect left not to do that. Was I the asshole?
No. Your sister. Ugh.
Yeah.
What?
Because
I mean, stranded. It's not like he left her in the middle of the woods.
Well, it sounds like it
She's
was
in a restaurant.
It sounds like it was like far away. I'm assuming like.
I guess
this
I
is-
need to know.
Yeah.
I need to know the
I need to
exact
know
distance.
because is it a restaurant like in the city that they both live in?
He kind of makes it sound like it's out a ways.
Yeah, which is
Okay.
pretty crazy for a first date.
Well, but
Okay.
they've been FaceTime dating.
yeah.
Okay. Maybe.
But like, really, like, how far?
Maybe
could
he
this
should have
place be?
driven her. Maybe he should have driven her. And yeah, okay, stranded. I get that. But I'm also like, I don't know. This
Because
is
we're not talking about. We are acknowledging, like, most of us, I think all of us here would probably not continue, or I think I wouldn't continue seeing this person because I'd be like, I don't know if I'm comfortable with that.
I would
It's-
definitely
it's the-
have more questions.
It's the conversation
Yeah.
of, okay, he's not interested in seeing her more. That's clear. he did tell her he was going to drive her home. Should he still drive her home?
Right.
That's kind of the conversation, because she hasn't necessarily been a bad person to him, but she's being honest with him, and he's going, oh, I'm not interested in this relationship.
And I don't think he reacted as cool and collected as he's saying, because he's like, I left her there and I paid for my half
dinner.
And so it's like, he was deep.
I didn't
in his
realize that
feelings.
he said he would drive her home. I get that. I think it's like, okay, drive her to Josh's and say, see ya, never.
Yeah. I think that's what I would probably do in this situation. I fear, as is the case with every Reddit stories, I fear we might have a little bit of an unreliable narrator on this one too.
Yeah, like what actually went
Because
down?
I'm just like, how did you react? How did this go down? How did she tell you about this?
I think Ian's right. I think he probably did not react well.
I don't think so either. And it's like, it was his choice, because he's like, I want to treat her to this fancy dinner. So he goes there, and now he's making her pay for her portion.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Which, and that's after her being like, hey, I'll be honest with you, this has happened.
Right.
It has me wondering, I'm very curious about the wording of this, because slight wording changes change this entirely. If it's like, yeah, in the past we have done this, and he's going, oh, so you do this all the time.
Right.
So, and you do this, and you're about to go do this right now. And it's like.
I mean, I appreciate her honesty, but like.
I guess like.
Pretty rough. I also am like, if I was her friend, I'd be like, you shouldn't expect to like be succeeding in like seeing people if you're telling them you're actively kind of seeing someone.
Is she actively in the makeout era with that friend?
That's what I'm a little
That's what I want to know.
That's what I'm curious about too. Yeah. And that's where I'm like, what was her wording?
Maybe she was like, oh, this is someone that I used to, but we don't do that anymore, and maybe he just left that out.
Taken at.
I think he probably did.
Taken at her word, taken at the word of this story, which I never fully trust a Reddit story. I'm like, okay, if she really did say that, that's wild. That's wild to admit that. That's wild to ask a date to drop you off at the place that you're saying this is happening. I don't know what you're expecting to happen. My only assumption with this story is I'm like, I think there's little tweaks to this.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that if I had to guess what the context was, that they probably used to make out, or like, a couple times they got drunk and made out in the past, but like then they agreed it's weird.
That's my assumption too.
And he just can't get that out of his head, because he's like, I'm driving her to her other boyfriend's house, you know.
Yeah. Maybe she's like, oh, I need something there, or my car's there. What? Maybe it was something else.
Anyways.
I don't know.
Crazy.
So the verdict was not the asshole. The comments, what did Anna think was going to happen? Which I agree as the story as it's written, I feel the same way. Someone else said, why on earth would you go on a date with someone and then ask them to drop you off at your friends with benefits and then expect them to want to continue a relationship with you? What planet are you living on? Have my cake and eat it too land? Oh. Someone else said, kudos for the maturity on both their parts, but girl, what? Thanks for dinner, it was great. You're great. Now I'm going over for a movie night with a guy I might make out with. Can you drop me off? Huh? I completely agree if that is what she's saying.
If that's
what she's saying. Which,
given his story, sure, I agree, but I don't think that's
I just have a hard... I mean, look, there are people out there that would do that, right? The world's filled with every kind of person. They exist.
Right.
Sure. I'm having a hard time believing it. But update.
Yay!
Hey everyone, just a quick update. I appreciate all the comments and the different opinions on my previous post. However, at the end of the day, the reason I posted it was because I felt guilty about what I did, and I agreed more with the comments stating what I did was wrong. Also, my sister has never once given me bad advice in life, and I think her assessment was right this time too. Since I left Anna at the restaurant last week, she texted me a couple of times, but I just ignored those messages. I opened the messages a couple hours ago, and I was sort of surprised. Instead of lashing out at me, she just apologized again and said she was willing to stop seeing Josh if it meant we could continue our relationship. She said after the dinner, she just took an Uber back home and didn't go to Josh's. I texted Anna that there was no reason to apologize, and I shouldn't have left her stranded at the restaurant, and I should have also paid for her meal, since I was the one who invited her to the expensive restaurant. I asked Anna for her Venmo, but Anna said she didn't care about the money and asked if we could continue our relationship. However, I didn't have the same feelings for Anna anymore, so I texted Anna up front that I don't think we're compatible and I don't want to continue this. We chatted a bit more, and Anna was very respectful of my decision, but admitted she was sad. I too admitted it was tough, but it's best for everyone that this doesn't continue further. That was the final text, and I definitely think there are valuable lessons learned for this entire thing. Thank you all for your input. That has me now believing that this was all legit.
Okay, maybe he is a hero.
Look, because he's
sad.
Because he's given this update going, yeah, I was wrong, I should have done this, whatever. I'm like, she really probably did say that.
Definitely.
And that is the situation, which is wild. But hey.
I'm also I'm so done with people saying no need to apologize when clearly they were hurt. Like, why can't we just be upfront about how we feel? Like,
fair.
No need to apologize. No need to apologize.
I think that's become the common saying.
Right.
I think that's become the common saying of being like, it's all right. Like, it just.
I don't like it.
Fascinating.
No, I think that's a really good
You know
point.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
just be like, thank you for apologizing to me.
It's like when someone's trying to apologize, like, no need to apologize. It's like, let me
f***ing apologize, dude.
let me apologize to you,
Let me apologize. Okay. Well, I mean, that's a good update.
I guess. I still, I'd like them to get together.
Me
I know, it is sad.
Because he said they had good chemistry, so it's like, get over it, dude.
Like, move on.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good update in that they both are okay and they feel good and it's all right. I mean, he was saying he just doesn't have feelings for her now. Like,
Already, no
what-
feelings.
I know, that's the thing where I'm like, bro, get over it. You guys had like good chemistry or whatever in your date.
Yeah,
She said she's
shit
gonna
happens.
end things with the friends with benefits. Say, all right, cool, let's, date number 2. Just like,
Exactly.
get over yourself.
It's true. It's so early on.
I think he was embarrassed.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of elements going on right now.
Yeah. No need to apologize, though.
Yeah, but don't apologize.
I'll never apologize to you guys.
Oh,
Good.
So you don't ever need to.
no,
It's good to know.
that's great.
Our next story.
I also own you both.
Oh, okay.
And I love that.
Yeah. And that's why I don't need to apologize.
And I said I like that.
Our next story comes from Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for having second thoughts about marrying my fiance after a drunk comment?
Ooh.
Classic.
Real.
This is.
You tell the truth when you're drinking.
Ooh. Oh no.
Junk. What is it? Junk words or sober thoughts? Or
That's
whatever.
right. No, that's right.
Yeah.
This is a 30-year-old woman, and she's writing about her 27-year-old husband.
Got it. Okay.
Not sure why I'm even here. Guess I'm still trying to process what my 27-year-old man, what my fiance drunkenly admitted to me. For context, my fiance, who I'll refer to as Alex, and I have been together for just under 2 years and got engaged in December. Everything has been a blast since the day we met, and we keep surprising each other with just how awesome of a couple we can be. Last night, we had a special date night for New Year's planned, where we were dressed up like bowlers from the 1970s and bowled our asses off for a few frames until we finally decided on a winner.
I don't know why this is so funny.
It's pretty funny.
Wait, how did he describe their relationship?
A blast.
A blast.
Always a blast.
It's always a blast.
That sounds exhausting.
Yeah.
They go to
give me-
Disneyland. They go to Disney World all the
give
time.
me some like boring times with the relationship.
Totally. During the 5 games, we ended up drinking 2 of those beer towers, about 7 beers each altogether. He's not a big drinker, so he was a little more than tipsy when we decided to call it a night and head home. We live really close by, so we walked to and from the bowling alley since we figured we were going to be drinking. On that 15-minute walk home, he was doing the usual mushy, I love you, and other cute little things he tells me while giggling. Things took a bit of a turn when he started talking about how much he enjoys our sex.
Okay.
He's always told me that we have amazing sex and that he can't get enough. But in his drunken state, he told me something different. You're the 3rd best that I've ever had.
Ooh.
What a blast.
Not even runner up.
And they're dressed as bowlers? Yes. This is terrible. This is terrible.
3rd. Hey, it's still, that's still a podium.
sucks.
It's still podium.
That sucks. 2
You
beer
still
towers?
placed.
Yeah.
I stopped walking for a second and just stared at him in disbelief. Alex just looks at me, giggles again, and kisses me, thinking he was just saying that on purpose to agitate me a bit like he does, but not really mean it. I laugh it off, and we keep walking. Once we get home and sit on our front porch, he brings it back up. I really do mean it, though, babe. You're amazing, but I've had better before you.
Buddy, shut up.
He got away with it. If he would have just shut his mouth.
Shut up.
after the first one.
I was as confused as I was mad, embarrassed, and offended all at the same time. I asked him what the hell he was saying to me and if he was being serious. He started crying and told me that he had a one-night stand before he met me with some woman that was like a sex goddess. He also mentioned a past fling with a guy when they were both teenagers and experimenting with drugs. Both of these confessions took me completely off guard because he never in our time together mentioned anything about being bi-curious or anything like that, let alone promiscuous sex. My commitment to Alex is starting to change now, though, and I haven't been able to look at him all day. I'm having second thoughts about following through with a marriage if he'll always think of me as a third-place prize. Even if I did think there was something about Alex that wasn't as good as a past relationship, I wouldn't openly tell him that I thought he wasn't as hot, handsome, has a small dick, etc.
Nope.
That just seems like kind of mean and feels a little malicious or petty. Am I the asshole for reconsidering the engagement?
She's like, I wasn't gonna tell you that you have a small dick.
Yeah.
But you do.
It's actually the third smallest dick I've
ever seen.
At first I'm like, there's no way this guy actually said all this, but then I'm like,
Yeah, he did.
you get 8 beers deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
The
did.
truths are coming out.
And he's wanted to
Yeah.
say it for a long
he's been waiting for
There's
an excuse.
nothing that Samuel Adams won't get out of you.
A Sam Summer? Honey.
Sam
Summer?
comes out in Sam Summer.
Stop the clock. You got oysters and Sam Summer? Are you f***ing kidding me? You getting super brown during the summer.
It's Sam Summer.
That's
And there's
Sam
no
Summer.
secrets at Sam Summer.
Nope.
No.
Sam Summer.
Okay.
Whoa.
No, you can't recover from that. You simply cannot.
She just either has to forgive, move on, or that's it.
Which it's like, how do you move on from that? Because mind you, not only being told third best, she also was like, I had no idea that he was also bi-curious. Like, that's also a huge bombshell.
Yeah.
And it's not that there's a problem with it. It's that it's like, do I know you?
Here's the deal, though. I feel like, okay, yeah, if she can't move on from that, then that can't happen. But if she can, I think your relationship, like your sex relationship, constantly changes all the time. So she's not always going to be third. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe she is. But like.
I mean, it was a sex goddess. That was number
so
2.
true.
I know.
Why did he say that?
I know.
He really, he got too comfy.
Way too comfy.
I'm glad that he admitted what he wanted to say, like before they got married, not like on their wedding night where he's like, you're the third best. Love ya.
Yeah.
Glad we did this. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't know.
This
This is up to her if she can.
I mean, like, he very much wanted to tell her.
Yes.
That. If like, he felt like it didn't sink in the first time he said it and then decided to bring it back around, like, I guess maybe this is something that he was like, it's probably something that he's been wanting to tell her, but he was afraid to tell her.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
probably his experiences with men, he was probably ashamed of that in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this other person that he's probably thought about since they got together. Like,
He just didn't
comparing.
need to say third.
Yeah.
He didn't need. This isn't the Olympics. Like, you don't need to do that.
You only tell people when they're number one. And even if they're not, you lie.
Exactly.
I also
Like, you're the best.
I also think he's not.
You're the best.
I think this is a very clouded statement because he's referring to one, an experience he had on drugs when he was a teenager. That's absolutely when it's a distant memory.
Yep.
It gets clouded by like, oh, the past. You kind of think of it differently.
Yep.
Sure.
And it's the same with this one night stand. You talk about single instances.
Right.
And single instances in life can have this
Novel.
different
And a one-night
feeling
stand,
and excitement
yeah.
to it, whereas he's
Exactly.
not like. This is a partner he's had for years, and that's a very different thing. I just think there's a lot, but
He
it
needed
tells
to
me,
process
but it
it.
tells me there's a lot going on internally with him.
Yeah.
And that's why if I was her, I would be reconsidering it because I'd be going, I actually don't think I know you. And I think you're working through a lot. And I don't love that you think of it this way.
See, I would be like, all right, great. Starting tomorrow, after we eat hangover food, I want to hear all about it. I would want to like go over everything
I would probably
before I make any decision.
I'd probably be the same way out of just I would need to know.
Yeah.
I would need to know, even if I was still certain that I'd be calling it off, I would need to know first.
Yeah, 100%.
I'd want to talk it all out. The verdict was not the asshole. Comments, not the asshole. Saying it once was a slip, twice was deliberate.
True.
Someone said, not the asshole. There is absolutely zero situation, joking or not, where I would ever say this to my wife, ever. Lastly, someone said, you're not the asshole for having second thoughts. What he said was hurtful and unnecessary, even if he was drunk. It's okay to take time to process this and decide if you can move past it together.
He was in a bowler outfit.
He was in a bowler outfit when he said this.
And they had a good night. They had a blast.
Maybe just one beer tower next time.
Maybe just one.
Literally just one. I will say, though, when you're like in the beginning of a relationship and you have those drinking nights, you do start to say shit. I've never ever had experienced that, but like you do say shit where it's like, what'd you just say? Where it's like, huh? So just to be careful next time. One beer tower.
One beer tower. Just
not everybody drinks and not everybody, is into it, but for those who do, I do feel like those nights where you do get drunk with your partner are kind of like a test. Because it's like, all right, we've got the truth serum in.
Yep.
What are we saying to each other? How are we treating each other?
The bumpers are coming down.
And it is kind of a test, because once you get past it, it's like, all right, anything we would have aired, we probably would have aired it out.
Right, strike.
Yep.
Update.
Split. They might split.
Ooh. All right, update. It's done. This is gonna be done.
Oh.
I don't know.
You don't know? You think there's a chance?
I feel like all these Reddit ones, I cut it off. I don't know.
The advice is always to cut it off, but not always the case. I mean, look, Disney World guy, they're going to Disney World.
Don't even get me. I blacked that out. The fact that you brought it up again, Splash Mountain.
I think they're gonna work it out.
I kind of agree.
I think it's over.
Okay.
So Alex tried to apologize. The morning after we went out, he pretended everything was okay and was as sweet with me as usual, but I was short with him and ignored his texts all day leaving for work. When we both got home in the evening, I still couldn't even look at him, and so he asked me what was wrong, and I told him. Apparently, he hardly remembers a thing after we finished bowling. He recalls walking home and saying some things he felt embarrassed about, and then sitting outside and cuddling with me on the porch. I told him exactly what I remember him saying, and he looked mortified. He apologized profusely and told me I'm the only person he slept with and ever cared this much about, but I told him he'd humiliated me and made me feel like I was the problem and needed some time apart, so he volunteered to go stay with his brother to give me some space. He's since spent the rest of the evening and today trying to make it right, leaving voicemails and texting that he really didn't mean to hurt me and that he was drunk and stupid. He kept reiterating that I'm the best thing that's happened to him and the sex he had before was meaningless and that you're my number one as far as anyone I've slept with that matters. It just made me more mad. Like he's now lying to save face and trying to manipulate me into feeling like I'm overreacting after making me feel like a lesser partner in bed. I finally told him to stop and told him I didn't believe a word he said anymore and that even if he's being sincere, nothing he says will undo the fact that deep down he'll always think of me as a consolation prize to some sex goddess and his male buddy. I'm honestly also second guessing if he even likes women and am not ready to deal with being with someone who's questioning their sexuality. He started crying again and said he just wanted to open up to me since we've never had the conversation about previous partners, and in his drunk state, he thought we were at that point where we could have honest conversations, but regrets the timing and letting it slip while drunk. He said he'd move out and leave me alone, but hopes I won't share what he told me with my family and mutual friends, which I agreed to. I don't feel bad about ending things. He clearly didn't think before speaking, and now he's just trying to patch it up and minimize it as mistake and attempt at honest conversation, when I know he's just trying to lower my self-esteem and make me feel like I need to turn into a sex goddess in bed or be more like a man. I've realized my self-worth and I'm no one's bronze medal. I appreciate all the comments and kind words on the last post helping me realize this.
Okay.
I think
Girl.
Yikes.
I think a lot of this is off, but I think she's going through a lot as she's writing this post.
Yeah.
But I do think she's missing the mark on a lot of it.
100%.
All of it. He tried to share something super vulnerable. He f***ed up with the third place, and I think it's really, really painful, but I think in order to marry someone, your conversation is just gonna get harder. And you have to kind of take your insecurity and fear and anxiety about sex and all these things out of it and just be like, okay, we're two human beings, this sucks right now, but is the love and respect still there? Mm-hmm. And I mean, if that broke them up, I don't know. I mean, their marriage wouldn't have lasted.
Because like the things that he was saying to her, like, I mean, obviously I'm not in this relationship, but I believe the things that he was saying. I mean, there's certain things he shouldn't have said and saying like, but you're like the best sex that is meaningful. And it's like, bro, like, let's just not go there.
Yeah.
Let's just get past that point.
I agree with her in the sense of like, that's only going to make you more mad. Like, don't do that. Don't
but that's like
that.
dumb guy shit.
Totally.
Like, we've all said dumb guy things like that before. At least I know I have. Where it's just like, there just comes a point where you just shut up.
Yeah.
But I think, her turning around and being like, I guess I'm not like, I guess I'm not a sex goddess or I'm not enough of a man. It's like, bro, you are missing the mark.
The point.
So
yeah,
bad.
I predict that months from now, she'll look at some of those things she's written and been like, okay, that was not true.
Also,
like her being like, oh, he wants me to be more like a man. I'm like, okay, slow down. Like,
that's
stop.
not what he said. And also, like, you promised you wouldn't tell your family and friends. You just did a full Reddit post on it. Like, you're not being respectful.
I guess the argument is that this is anonymous, but it does run the risk always of people knowing.
I don't know. I think she missed out on something that could have been good for their relationship. I don't know. I get... I'm not saying everyone has to accept everyone's flaws, but at least give it a chance to kind of dig into like, okay, clearly you waited till we were wasted to tell me. Clearly you were afraid to tell me. And he had rightfully so. So it's like, I don't know. I just think people need to dig in a little bit more before they just call it quits.
But I also do agree with, you kind of said it earlier, is like, this did break them up, which means, are they compatible?
Right.
You know, this did break them up. There are people out there, there's a version of this where this happens, and it's like they do talk it out, and it makes them stronger because they were compatible.
Right.
Like they saw eye to eye on things.
Yeah.
And I also agreed, I think it's important to go back to what you said earlier, is like people's sexual relationships will change and evolve.
Yep.
It's not like, oh yeah, you're the third best ever. It's like, viewing sex as like, that's you
24/7.
That's you always, and that's what it is. It's like, no, sex is communication. That is something that will change, and if you're with the right person that you're compatible with, it will only get better, and it's because it's about communication and talking with each other and understanding each other.
Totally.
It seems like they both have growing in that realm.
Yeah.
And he also, frankly, does sound like there's a lot that he needs to acknowledge and figure out. She, the same way. That's kind of why I was not confident this was going to last. Because I was just like, I don't think they sound compatible.
Yeah.
And this just sounds like too big of a thing for them to handle. Maybe in a couple of years, if they really work on themselves, it's something that they will come back around and be fine with. But.
Yeah, I think it's very hard when you tell something about yourself that's really personal. And I get that he said third, but like that the other person's response is only like, well, I guess I'm not. Well, I guess it's really hard to communicate once it gets to that place.
Yeah, she was so hurt.
Rightfully so. I get it. But take some time. But listen, you can't be in everyone's relationship. You don't know what's going on.
Oh, totally. And this is one of those heartbreaking ones that is really devastating and really like, man, I don't know what I would say to either of these people, you know, if I was talking to them.
I just think marriage is like, you can't just be like, I'm out.
Oh, for sure.
Like, this is the person that you chose to be with, and you kind of have to give them the benefit of the doubt.
I agree, but I also think if in her head she's immediately seeing there's no way I'm ever going to get over this, I'm also like, all right.
That's true.
But a marriage is truly being with someone where you're like, I will do everything I can to make this work.
Yes.
But once you hit that place of, I can't make this work, it's dishonest to stay in.
Right, totally.
So it's this tough, but she immediately, I mean, if you are calling it quits that fast, you weren't right for each other.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how I view it, at least.
I just don't think she's secure enough to be in a relationship like that.
I mean, look, that's a devastating thing to hear.
I don't think either of them are secure enough to be in this relationship right now.
Yeah.
They're little twinge of biphobia too. I'm just gonna say it. Well,
no,
the biphobia is real.
Totally.
For sure.
Agreed.
That's what I mean. Like as she's writing this, I can tell. I'm like, you tears are streaming as you're typing this.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, because this was written very recently, I'm curious if there'll be an update eventually, kind of like a cooled down version of it, but we'll see.
Update. She had sex with 2 people that were better than him. Now he's number 3. Ha, how does it feel?
She's never been back to the bowling lane since.
She's got guys bowling strikes all up in that. Sorry.
No, it's perfect.
Split. She's waxing balls left and right.
He could keep going. You don't have to let him.
Something about like the holes. I don't know.
Okay, here we go.
You know what?
All right.
Shoes.
You're done.
Just get me out of here.
Our next story. Am I the asshole for flirting with 19-year-old girls and defending myself when being called a predator?
How old are you, bro?
Yeah, how old, bro?
Say how old you are, bro.
I'm 31.
Yep.
And recently ended a long-term relationship. I was broken. I recently went to this cool restaurant/bar downtown with one of my buddies to have a good time. Anyone of any age can come in. While we were there was a girl who was celebrating her 19th birthday. They sang happy birthday and they were allowed an outside cake with 19 on it. The birthday girl was pretty, so I wanted to go chat her up. Her friends were super cute too. My buddy told me to leave them alone and that they looked like babies. He didn't want to go over at first, but since the breakup, every other woman but my ex has been invisible, so he went to wingman with me. We walked over and wished her a happy birthday. I thought things were going well and the women were laughing. Then all of a sudden, one of the girls snaps at me to take a f***ing hint, R. Kelly.
Oh! Damn.
I was taken aback and just said, "Excuse me?" She said to read the room and that they were uncomfortable. Another asked us to go away. I was going to go, but I was really bothered by the R. Kelly comment.
Oh, no.
I said it's f***ed up to call me a predator when we were all adults here. My buddy wanted to leave, but I stood my ground. The birthday woman said that it didn't matter. It's weird for someone my age to hit on them, especially when they make it obvious that they are uncomfortable. I apologize for making them uncomfortable, but that didn't give them the right to call me a predator. One of the women said it was a personal problem. I said that adults are allowed to hit on other adults. It's not a crime. One woman just asked why I was still standing there and yelled at me to go away.
Yes.
I was pissed off, and when I left, their entire table was singing Ignition and laughing their asses off. I was furious and humiliated. When we sat back down, I was seething. My buddy said that it was my fault for not seeing the signs that they were uncomfortable. To him, it was obvious, so he wanted to go. He called me delusional. I pointed out that they were laughing, and he said it was just uncomfortable laughter. I told him that I had every right to be mad about being called a predator when they were all 18 to 19. It's a horrible accusation to make. My ex was 6 years older than me. He said that they weren't calling me a predator, just weird for going for teens. He said it was wrong of them to sing after me and that was bullying, but I should have left long before that. I felt like he should have stuck up for me. Was I wrong for sticking up for me or for hitting on them in the first place? I was respectful and not creepy at all, too. Edit. For the record, I do date women my age and older. This was the first time I approached much younger women.
I can't. This is exactly the type of guy who asks you out and you go, "Oh, no, thank you." And then they're like, "The fuck?
What the f***?
You're a bitch."
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Excuse me, can you go?" And it's like, "No, I'm pissed." And then they stay. Dude.
That's the most insane thing, like, where it was like, the moment they were like, take a hint, like, we don't want you here. And then you stay after that? Like,
I know, man.
It's because he's embarrassed and his
Get
pride
out the clown
made
makeup.
him stay.
It's wild. It's
Even
also,
his friend.
It's also like they're celebrating a birthday.
Yeah.
Even if the cake said 30, I'd be like, oh, well, I'm not going to go up and bother
busy.
them. They're celebrating a birthday right now. Like, don't bother them.
He was like, I deserve to have this.
Yeah.
Every woman's been invisible to me, so I deserve to go up to these, ladies and talk to them. It's like, that's where you're wrong. It is not your God-given right to have any woman go, yes? Like, no, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, her friends were ballsy as hell. Like, ballsy. R. Kelly's a little much.
And it definitely sounded like, and the whole, like, they were laughing and everything. It was like, oh no, they were doing the kind of like awkward laugh of like trying to diffuse a situation.
But look, man, he also entered the gladiator arena of people who are going to make you, like, insult you better than anyone.
Oh.
Sure.
18 and 19-year-olds.
19?
Yeah.
You're dead.
Devastating.
Born and raised on TikTok.
Roasted.
Just gonna, they're singing Ignition at you.
Roasted.
I didn't even know 19-year-olds knew Ignition.
They know the remix to Ignition.
They know. Yeah. Yeah, they do. You can't hide from that.
I killed Eric with that one.
So good. No, they
like-
watch the documentaries. They know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, no.
They're like deep in the Me Too movement.
There's no context where I'm gonna willingly talk to teenagers because I'm scared of them. Because they're gonna make fun of me.
They will rip you apart.
They're gonna make fun of me, and it's gonna hurt. It's that John Mulaney joke of like, there's nobody in the world who can like find your weakness like a teenager.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Totally.
Also, it's like your own friend was like, bro, that was your fault.
Yeah, your friend is like, you're delusional.
And he's like, no, I'm gonna stay.
He's actually truly being your wingman right now by telling you you're being delusional and being creepy.
Exactly.
He's being your wingman in that way.
Yeah.
Sometimes a wingman has to do that.
Yeah.
Emily makes a great point. He referred to her as the birthday woman
Yeah.
in this post, which he definitely, I know know that he was typing out and he wrote birthday girl.
Woman.
Back.
It's
birthday woman.
But like, hey, birthday girl, nice cake.
It's giving Matt Gates.
Yep. This guy really puts the Reddit and Predator.
Oh.
Nice. That's a strike.
Thanks.
Bogey.
Edit. Okay. Verdict. Asshole. Not surprising. There's an edit that he wrote.
He's like, wait, hold on.
All right, guys, I get it. I let my pride get in the way of things here. Can't fix it. We'll do better next time.
Okay, do better.
Let's see what these comments are, because you know he's
great.
about to be ripped apart. You're the asshole for being creepy, not taking a hint, and arguing about it to women who asked you to leave. You're upset about being called a predator, but don't seem to care that your inappropriate behavior made a group of women in public feel uncomfortable. Someone else said, he is extra you're the asshole for standing his ground when they asked him to leave. What did he think would happen? They would admire his persistence and realize they were wrong all along and he was actually a nice guy who they should all sleep with. Someone else said, you're the asshole. The fact that both the girls and your friend easily recognized that it was creepy to hit on her should tell you that it wasn't okay.
Okay.
He wrote this all out thinking he was right.
It is kind of funny imagining him like winning them over in an argument and be like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I did it. And they're like, okay,
No,
can you
he
go
was-
now?
Update.
Stop.
They're dating now. Stop.
Update.
What's that face?
What's
What does
that
mean?
face?
What does that mean, Shane?
It's not his update. It's hers.
Yes! Let's go!
That was so cool. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I call that the messy. I don't know if he
I'm
does
the
that.
Lionel Messi of Reddit, they say.
Yeah.
God.
I don't know if
not.
he does that. I've never watched football.
Football.
Our football fans watching are pissed off. Or they're like, hey,
Does Messi do the wings?
Ian knows ball.
Does Messi do the wings when he scores?
I
I don't know if
I
he
think
does.
they all kind of do the wings.
Yeah.
You run and you do the slide.
Yeah, you just the slide with the wings.
And you slide forever.
That's a good move.
Yeah.
That's a Messi.
Anyways,
I can't do that on this what do you call this material?
This is
Jute.
jute.
Yeah, I can't do.
I knew
can't-
that.
I can't knee slide on jute.
Jute rug. Big
Hey.
thing.
Yeah,
Big
big
deal.
thing. Was huge in the 2010s.
Yeah.
update from the 19-year-old girl.
Get out of here.
I've never had a Reddit account before, but my journalism TA showed us it, and sometimes I'll just check the front page for news. Earlier, I saw a post up there that basically described my birthday dinner like 3 weeks ago. At first, I didn't give a but now I just felt the need to clarify a few things, even though I know most people called him an asshole. Some people got angry about the R. Kelly comment and singing Ignition. Was it mean? Yes, but I'm done being nice to creeps. This was not a bar. It was a bar and grill, but it was mainly a restaurant that just happened to serve drinks. We were sitting near a family, so we weren't in a setting where people go to get hit on. We were minding our business and keeping in the corner booth.
Yeah.
He came and wished me a happy birthday. I said thanks, and we all went back to our conversation. I did appreciate being told happy birthday, but he stuck around. We laughed uncomfortably and went back to our conversation. He stuck around and kept interrupting us. Each time he said something, we nodded and then turned our backs to him. We said thank you, bye a few times, but he was still standing there talking to us. His friend kept finding excuses to leave. I was annoyed, uncomfortable, and disgusted, but I gave him a respectful, okay, have a good night. Here's some cake for you to take home. But he grabbed the cake and sat down in our booth.
No.
He said, the night's not over yet.
Predator! Behavior.
Brother,
Then my friend just snapped, and if she didn't, I was going to. When she called him R. Kelly, she wasn't accusing him of being a pedo, but a creep. 30-year-old guys who hit on us are creepy and disgust us. Point blank, period. We were nice the entire time, and I even gave them a million hints and cake for the road. His friend was even finding reasons for them to leave. Then he had the audacity to stand there and fight us on it. I told him that he was way too old for us, and it was creepy from the start. When he left, we started singing Ignition among ourselves, not singing it after him. It's a throwback that our parents put us on. Instead of crying over our night being ruined by a creep, we turned it into a fun moment with karaoke. P.S. When he asked us our age and gave us his, we became a million times more uncomfortable. Guy was 30 trying to get with 18-year-olds at a birthday dinner. We are used to old men bothering us, and it's always gross. To the if he wasn't ugly crowd, he was a decent-looking, fit guy. If I never met him, I'd set him up with my aunt. But he was in his 30s, and that is way too old. This isn't porn, and I haven't met a single girl desperate for a 30-year-old divorced dick. Being called legal is demeaning. Everything about it was sickening. When he came over, announced his age, then asked us ours, I almost yacked. It was like he was IDing us at a family restaurant. F*** out of here. I'm tired of having to be polite to guys who are creepy and disrespectful. Period.
Damn! Period. I would set you up with my aunt, bitch.
that was crazy.
Hey, what if he commented underneath it being like, all right, so what's your aunt up
Yeah,
to?
literally.
How old's your aunt?
How old's
22? Great.
I was
Your
gonna
young
say,
aunt?
of course he left out the fact that, which most girls do, most women do, they're like, no thank you, have a good night.
Yeah.
No thank you, have a good night. Here's a piece of cake, good night. Like the amount of politeness that we have to f***ing do. And then you still, like, I love this 19-year-old. She just gave it to him. Like, damn.
She gave him cake.
A corner booth? That's
Well, because when he said I went to a bar and all ages are there, I was like, I don't think that's how
That's not
bars
possible.
usually
Yeah, dude.
work. It was a fucking Applebee's.
You're telegraphing it.
this is so good.
That's
insane.
He sat down and said, the night's not over yet.
Which is very scary.
Extremely scary. I mean, he's lucky they didn't like call like the staff on him.
Right.
Like they
Yeah.
were being so nice to him.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, because you're just trying to de-escalate a weird situation.
Which I know is like, because
Come
they're
on.
terrified of him. Like,
And clearly, like, he
Set you up
made
with
a whole...
my aunt. I love these girls.
Yeah. That's
I am loving it.
oh, brutal.
That's
You know
awesome.
he saw this too.
And he's like, aunt.
Aunt.
And he's like, she said I was fit, so like clearly she was into me, you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you said I was fit?
Yeah. It was clearly she thought I was hot, so it's just like she was probably embarrassed in front of her friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
It is crazy though that he saw that he like eagle-eyed the 19 on the
19.
cake and was like, let's go.
Which meant some of them were 18.
Yes.
Sure.
No, and I mean, I feel like my point was proven. That final paragraph, devastating.
Yeah.
She annihilated him.
Oh, 100%.
If he read this, he's dust.
And I love that she said, my journalist TA. Honey, she's in school. Get your ass home.
And she's new to college.
Divorced dick.
Yeah.
Oh, I
brutal.
love it.
All right. Our next one. I don't know if anything can beat that.
These are so good,
That was
by
savage.
And we're going to Disney World after this.
the way. No, oh yeah, okay, I can do it. My neck's fine.
Oh, wait.
Oh wait, that's crazy. I got it.
Okay. Our next story. This comes from Relationship Advice. Am I the asshole for breaking up with my girlfriend because of a caught cheating prank?
Remember those shows? Caught cheating?
Oh, cheaters? 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 Is that what it's called?
A lot
think
of
he
our
got- I
audience
think
probably
that
has
guy got-
no idea what that is.
I think the show ended when he got stabbed.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
We call that a throwback, just like Ignition.
Yeah.
Yeah. I, a 26-year-old man, broke up with my girlfriend, 25-year-old woman, of 2 years because of something that happened recently, and now my friends are saying I massively overreacted.
If this was all done for a TikTok, I'm gonna be
You know it was.
livid.
So a few days ago, my girlfriend and a close mutual friend decided to play a prank on me. The prank was that they filmed a scenario where I caught them in bed together, pretending they were hooking up. They set up a hidden camera in the bedroom, and when I walked in, I saw him in just boxers and my girlfriend in a bra and panties, straddling him, acting like they were mid-hookup. To make it more realistic, they even made some noises and tried to act like it was happening for real. I was shocked, furious, and immediately confronted them as I thought it was real at first, like an actual betrayal. And then I walked out of the room and started leaving the house when they followed me screaming it was just a prank and then showed me the video they'd been recording. To be honest, I felt completely betrayed, not just by the idea of the prank, but also because of how they had gotten undressed to film it. I know it's meant to be funny to some people, but for me, it felt disrespectful and I was hurt. The whole thing felt like a violation of trust, even though I know they weren't actually cheating. I told her I couldn't be in a relationship with someone who would do something like that, and I ended things right there. She's devastated, and our friends have been telling me I overreacted. They think it was just a harmless prank and I should have taken it better. But I can't shake the feeling that it crossed a line for me, especially with how intimate and uncomfortable it felt to see them in that situation, even if it wasn't real. Now I'm left wondering if I made the right decision. I'm starting to doubt myself because everyone else seems to think I blew it out of proportion.
What benefit does she get from doing that prank?
The views, bro.
There's a lot of people who do a lot of stuff on social media where I ask that
know.
question. People,
I don't think he's overreacting.
No, my God, no.
No.
Like if you were in that relationship and they were like simulating sex as a joke,
They're like,
Like-
that's a prank.
that's weird.
Like, but you still straddled that person half naked who's my friend.
It
Yeah.
reminds me of a question that gets asked around this office a lot, which is, what is a prank? And
Yeah.
it's kind of like trippy when you
Some
think about it.
people
You're
don't know.
What is a prank?
What is a prank?
What is a prank? And to me, a prank is supposed to be kind of like a joke that you pull on someone that does give them a rush of some emotion, but it's ultimately supposed to end in them laughing, and it's supposed to be fun for the person you're pranking. If the person you prank doesn't like the prank, then it wasn't a prank.
It wasn't a
You
prank.
actually just with them in a
You
way
just
that...
with them.
And I think you should know the person you're pranking well enough to know what's gonna work and what's not. Because there are videos of people pulling off pranks on people where the person laughs their ass off.
Yeah.
And those are awesome, right?
Those are fun. I mean, like punked and stuff, like sometimes they cross the line a lot.
Punks
Yeah.
cross the line. But I think all of them knew. I think
The only
I think so,
shows,
too.
the only ones that get a pass for me, the mean pranks, are the Japanese ones.
those are hilarious, unfortunately.
Like they get in the porta potty and all
and
the
it
walls go down.
launches them out, yeah.
Or, launches them onto the lake and they're like holding onto the porta potty while they're like.
There's ones where they would get into a porta potty and it would like flip backward and they're at the top of a ski slope
Yeah.
and they're just going down.
Oh, wait, I need to see this.
Oh, they're
Japanese
great.
prank shows are ruthless.
Yeah.
But here's the thing with those, that has nothing to do with their partner having sex with their best friend.
No.
You know what? Fair.
They're going down a ski mountain. Fine. It didn't involve their whole fucking life.
Yeah, but the pants are down.
Like, and they go down to the bottom of the ski mountain and the wife and the best friend are like, oh, and also we're here.
Wait, I'm sorry. It has me thinking of my all-time favorite. This is old school, where they would wait till people were walking down an alley by
Yes.
themselves, and they would have a crowd of people sprint the opposite way, screaming, and the people would always be like, and they would start running too. It was awesome.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But also devastating.
Again, your wife and your best friend are not
Yeah, this is different.
again.
I also think people need to know, and we say this as people who make content on YouTube, you're gonna try to make a prank and you're gonna film it. Know that most of the people who do prank content on YouTube, that it's all fake.
Yep.
It's
The person
so
they're pranking
fake.
knows that it's all fake.
Yeah.
So fake.
Don't
Unless they're scaring them. Those are my favorite. When they're like coming around the corner and they're scaring them a lot.
like scare tactics.
yeah. Oh,
That shit was,
that shit was f***ed up.
unfortunately, I was entertained by that.
Yeah, me too.
But it's wrong.
But it's
So
wrong.
you're at like
That's wrong.
cheating pranks like
The
go
cheating
all,
prank is
all the way back
crazy.
to like the prank
Yeah.
sort of golden
Yeah.
era on YouTube, which totally sucked. But it was like, yeah, there was a lot of those cheating pranks, and it was
They're so
obviously fake.
Verdict, not the asshole. Comments, Not the asshole. How does your girlfriend of 2 years not know you well enough to know what you'd find funny? Like, even if you prank all the time with each other, she should know you and what you would find actually funny. If you're not laughing, it's not actually a prank. It's just them hurting you and then blaming you for being hurt. OP responded saying, yep, I told her that. She says she wanted to try something new and unexpected and didn't think I would feel so strongly about it.
What?
Well, you don't know your boyfriend that well.
No.
Someone else said, so two adults who were comfortable enough being in their underwear together and assuming a sex position think you are overreacting? OP responded, I can't make it make sense either. You made the right decision. Other people don't get to decide what sort of prank goes past your line for pranks. If your ex-girlfriend really was devastated, maybe she'll learn that trying to pull elaborate pranks can backfire on her and she won't do it to other people in the future. Not the asshole. Update.
Yes.
Ooh.
My ex-girlfriend was really upset with all the hate she received online and blamed me for painting her in a bad light. I told her I did no such thing. She just didn't like that she got called out and on her behavior. The mutual friend who was part of the prank is now also pissed off at me and saying I went way overboard. I told them both to f*** off and have blocked their numbers. Our friends have since started taking this more seriously after reading some of the comments on here, with a few taking my side and saying what my girlfriend and the friend did was horrible. Others still think this was all unnecessary and I should have just laughed it off and moved on. No.
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 No, what they did was just, it was like, really? Like, why? It was just dumb and insensitive. And then also to be like, how dare you make me look like an idiot? It's like, you made me look like an idiot.
Yeah. The whole point of the video that you were also filming without my permission was supposed to make me look, I was the focus of this video I didn't know I was going to be in.
Right.
That alone. Yeah.
I just can't stop picturing someone in a porta potty going down a ski slope and then having them have sex.
I mean, I would show...
At the end of the ski slope is his wife and some guy.
With divorce papers.
Were you tricked?
Oh, pranked!
Yeah, pranked. He's like, what? He's like,
With divorce papers and a DNA test that shows that the son is not his.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, what son? And she's like, pranked. She just really goes too hard.
God dang.
Yeah, that's bad. He did the right thing.
He did the right thing. Our final story. This story was covered on Two Hot Takes on an episode that Courtney was in.
Ooh.
So Courtney's take is out there, and now it's time for our takes.
Ooh, our
It's
takes.
time for 3 hot takes.
Ooh, did you just call us all hot?
No, our takes are hot.
Oh.
Sorry.
Sucks. We're all in our 30s. It's okay. Well, you're... Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
And you're...
No. I'm
19?
actually not. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Let's go. Let's run with that. Let's do it.
All right.
Okay.
Our final story. Am I the asshole for telling my fiance I don't want my Temu engagement ring?
Ooh,
I don't know what that means.
brother.
Temu is it's like a Shein. It's like an app or website where you get really cheap stuff.
Do you remember Wish? Wish.com?
But it's just a site where you get really cheap
Okay, got it.
versions
Imagine
of things.
Amazon, but like 100 times shittier.
Yeah, like Shein.
Yeah.
It's Shein.
Okay.
Okay. So, it's a 27-year-old woman. My fiance, a 29-year-old man, proposed to me a few weeks ago. It caught me completely by surprise, but we've been together for 3 years and things have been going great. So I was really excited and said yes. I really liked the ring when I first saw it, and my friends and family all think it is stunning. It's an oval cut with diamonds across the band. I asked where he got it, and he wouldn't tell me where, but that he got a great deal on it. I didn't think anything of it until yesterday when we were in bed and I asked him if it was diamond or moissanite, mainly out of curiosity. I don't have a preference, by the way. He said he didn't know and would have to look it up. When I glanced over at his phone, he was in the Temu app. I asked him if he got it from there and he didn't respond. So I asked again and he responded with something like, does it matter? He left the room and ended up sleeping on the couch. I spent all night so confused. Today I decided to download the app and look up my ring, and I found one that looks identical. I found the exact ring, and it's listed at $38. I am mad. He makes good money, around $200,000 a year, and I feel like he could have shelled out some money for a ring better than the one on Temu. Am I the asshole for telling him I don't want it?
Ooh,
Yeah,
this is tricky.
I think I think where the issue could come is that's like costume jewelry. So I'm wondering if like that gold or whatever is gonna start wearing off.
Yeah, turn
like a $30 ring, I don't think that's gonna last.
No.
Yeah.
Like,
so to me, it's once again of like, he does not know his fiance, or he doesn't know his girlfriend, right? Because it clearly did matter to her to some degree about like what the ring is. And there are tons of people who don't have like fancy rings.
Yeah. Sure.
But it's such an important thing to have some thought put into it.
You wear it every day.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be expensive, but like to have some meaning to it is important. But he just got it off
the fact that he didn't know what the stone was, didn't like think about, oh, this is like a stone that has meaning to you, or that's
like,
gonna turn her finger green.
I know people who have like silicone rings or like wooden rings or all sorts of things.
Yeah.
But just something that has some meaning to it, maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
Clearly, it's important to her, is what I mean. Because there are people who are like, oh, I don't give a shit what the ring is.
Right.
But she's not one of those people.
I think his ego is hurt, but I think this does happen where the person is like, oh, I don't like my ring. And the person who proposed is like, their ego's hurt for a little bit. And it can be a tricky space. But I do think at the end of the day, marriage, you have to work together on it. It's like, let's talk about what ring you do want.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. And also,
because this is going to be temporary.
This
ring is going to break.
turn her finger
her
green.
finger's going green in like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Definitely.
The verdict is not the asshole. Comments, not the asshole because that thing might turn your finger green. He's lucky you don't have a sensitivity to fake metals like some do. He makes good money but bought a $38 ring. Is he cheap with other things where discount shopping isn't a new thing for him and he's just an all-around penny pincher? My first thought was, did he not spend the money because he doesn't want/expect this to last? OP said, yeah.
Oh.
OP said, yeah, let me provide some more context. Really, he's never been overly frugal. I'm probably more frugal than he is. Neither of us are huge spenders, but we each make enough to not have to strictly budget or anything. We have our own accounts and split rent equally. I know he has at least $100,000 across his savings/investment accounts. We go out for drinks a few times a week and we'll go to concerts together and whatnot frequently. We travel a few times a year and stay in basic accommodations. Like our DoorDash the other night was $40. My ring costs less than DoorDashing dinner.
Yep.
I think he needed to talk to someone and get advice on what to do, because I don't think he fully wrapped his head around that this ring will turn her finger green. And also, I don't know what he was thinking really.
But I'm now confused because she's like, he's not frugal. We're not in a financial bind.
Yeah.
This is confusing.
I kind of feel like he just saw it and was like,
oh, that's pretty.
I have 2 weeks until I have to propose to her. I could get this ring in a week. I don't know, because like,
that's the thing. I'm like, what were you thinking?
Because Temu also, like, don't they like throw a bunch of shit at your face and they're like, buy this. Buy this, now buy this, now buy this.
Yeah.
And I wonder if like he just got served that ring and was like,
that's it.
Yeah, that'll work.
And he panicked. He's like, oh, $38, that's awesome. Here we go.
$38.
And he knows he fucked up because like he was he was like avoiding the question, like, did you buy this on Temu? I'm gonna sleep on the couch. Like, he knew
exactly.
He did. But yeah, you don't buy costume jewelry for wedding rings.
And it doesn't
have to be expensive
at all, actually. When you wear something every single day, it needs to have wear and tear. But like, dude.
Update. After reading responses from my first post on the Am I the Asshole subreddit, it got taken down. I was freaking out a bit. He came home while I was FaceTiming a friend about this. I hung up with her and then talked to him for an hour or so. He apologized for sleeping on the couch and that he needed time to think. He doesn't see eye to eye with me on my concerns about the ring and says he did research and that it was highly rated. He says if the ring breaks, he will replace it, but didn't say it'd be higher quality. I have people messaging me that the ring could be harmful to my health and that Temu has horrible standards for their jewelry and labor issues, so now I really don't want to wear it. He left and went to his brother's house. Usually I'd go with him, but things are just tense. Am I the asshole for telling him I still don't want it?
No, you're not.
Update number 2.
Oh my God, yes.
I'm literally just sitting here refreshing your comments, trying to figure out what to do next. He texted to let me know he plans on staying at his brother's for the weekend and is taking Friday off. It's not crazy abnormal since he's been watching football over there, but I feel like he's avoiding me now. I'm trying not to be pushy about the situation and I'll give him some space, but now I'm just in my head about all of it and regretting my initial reaction. It's just a dumb ring and maybe I've read into it too much. The only other time we've had an argument like this, it was resolved within a couple hours, so I'm not used to this behavior from him. Update number 3.
Yes.
Update machine over here.
He came home this morning while I was in a work from home meeting. These comments made my head spin all night. I got like 3 hours of sleep, so I admit I may be in the wrong for bringing up his finances, but I did. Ari, the gold digger rumors, when we met, I was making more than him and often paying for his things. His high-paying job is a recent development. I have my own money and don't need his. I asked him what was going on, if there was anything he needed to tell me, if he was testing me by doing this. Well, that really set him off. What kind of person do you think I am? You think I'm a cheapskate, a liar? You obviously think really poorly of me. But still, he never gave me a reason. So I asked why he was deflecting every question to victimize himself and to avoid my questions. He tried to leave again. So I tried de-escalating and told him I see where he's coming from, but I need to know if he still loves me. He was immediately apologetic and still wants to get married. He said I can just pick my ring out and buy it with my own money. He said he's sick of talking about this and it's water under the bridge now. He's acting like his normal self again since this convo. I hear him out there skipping around and humming to himself all happily, and it's actually pissing me off. Maybe I'm being dramatic, but I don't think I can handle a marriage with someone like this.
Honey, you're not being dramatic. This man is just...
No.
I think I know what can fix this relationship.
What?
Bowling night!
Bowling night!
You get matching bowling outfits.
2 beer towers.
2 beer towers.
And
And then when that goes wrong, you go to Disney World.
You go to Disney World and
That's
you talk
right.
about your second best goddess sex times.
Right.
No, you can't marry this guy. Like,
What an
what are we
idiot.
talking about?
Yeah. What the
You buy
hell
your
is going-
own ring.
just admit you f***ed up and then work together on getting a better ring. It doesn't have to be like,
Yeah, if
get
this is
over
your
it.
future wife, don't you want her to be happy wearing...
No, he's focused on winning.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you both for being here.
Whoa, no more updates?
No more updates.
thank
There's
God.
nothing else to update on that.
Yeah,
Done.
they're done.
They're done. I think they're done.
I think this was one of my favorite Reddit story episodes because
Truly, yeah.
the stories were all bangers. They were
Yeah.
These
so
were some
good.
bangers.
Yeah,
These were
are
good.
really good.
Yep, pretty solid.
Very good.
And they'll also be solid at Smosh Reads Red Stories Live on March 8th.
We're doing it live.
doing it live.
Live.smosh.com.
And we're gonna have a live audience. Those tickets are likely sold out by now, but you can go get tickets at live.smosh.com and it'll be like you're there with us in person. Get your pancakes out, watch the live stream. It's gonna be a blast. So we'll see you there. And we'll also see you next Saturday, as always.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.